Welcome to Daily Current Affairs Analysis of Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 12th June 2025. So these are the 5 important topics we are going to discuss in this video. The first topic about the findings of Buddhism's culture in Karnataka. The second topic about sustainable nickel extraction method. Third topic about the rainwater harvesting methods in Rajasthan. The fourth topic about increased heat waves. A recent study about increasing heat waves in India. The fifth topic about the endgame in Russia-Ukraine war. What are the diplomatic talks going on to end this Russia-Ukraine war? So these are the 5 important topics we are going to discuss in this video. Now let us get into the discussion. Now look at this article. Recently, a headless Buddha sculpture and 3 rocket caves were found near Kadri in Mangaluru. So this is in Karnataka. These sculptures and the rocket caves were dated to 4th to 6th century AD. So this is an important discovery because it indicates that the Buddhism was spread in coastal Karnataka during that time. So in this context, we are going to discuss about the important archaeological sites in Karnataka regarding Buddhism and also about the dynasties and kingdoms which favored Buddhism in Karnataka, how Buddhism spread in Karnataka. So these are the things we are going to discuss in this article discussion. Now let us get into the discussion. As I said earlier, a headless Buddha sculpture and 3 rocket caves were discovered at Kadri near Mangaluru. So they were dated to 4th to 6th century AD, and this indicates the Buddhist presence in coastal Karnataka during those times. So this is the news. So Buddhism spread in Karnataka during the time of Ashoka. During the Mauryan rule in 3rd century BC, Buddhism spread to southern India and also to Karnataka. Even Ashoka created a rock edict at Sannathi in Karnataka. So Sannathi rock inscription is an important archaeological site. Then Buddhism grew under Satavahanas during the 1st and 3rd century AD. It was also supported by Kadambas and Western Ganga dynasty. So after 8th century, Buddhism declined in Karnataka and also in the southern India. This is because due to the rise of Saivism and Vaishnavism. So this is about the spread of Buddhism in Karnataka. Now look at this, these are the important archaeological sites regarding Buddhism in Karnataka. The most important one was Sannathi. Sannathi rock inscription has the rock edicts of Ashoka, and it also has Mahastupa and many relics regarding Buddhism. Next one is Banavasi. It has thrived Buddhism during yearly Kadamba rule. So it is one of the important sites during the Kadamba dynasty. Then Aihole, Badami, Patadakal. So these 3 sites are also associated with Buddhism. They have rocket Buddhist caves. They also have Hindu temples and Jain temples, and they also have the Buddhist caves. So Aihole, Badami, Patadakal, these 3 important sites are also associated with Buddhism. Then Dambal and Kadri. So Kadri was recently discovered. It is along the coastal Karnataka near Mangaluru, and Dambal also has viharas, chaityas. They are also built during the Kadamba dynasty. So these are the important archaeological sites regarding Buddhism in Karnataka. Now look at these dynasties. Mauryas spread Buddhism initially in southern India and Karnataka. Ashokan edicts are also found at Sannathi. Then Satavahanas, they built cave complexes and viharas. And Kadambas built many temples, and they also patronaged the monks. They built chaityas and viharas. And Western Ganga dynasty also supported Buddhism and Jainism. So after Western Ganga dynasty, after 8th century, Buddhism slowly started to decline in Karnataka. So these are the dynasties which favored Buddhism in Karnataka. Now look at this prelims practice question. Consider the following regarding Kadri. So the Kadri was missing here. The site is located in Kerala and is associated with Jain Tirthankaras. So this is completely incorrect because it is located in Karnataka and it is associated with Buddhism. A sculpture of Buddha and 3 rocket caves dated to 4th to 6th century AD were discovered here. Yes, the statement is correct. This is what we have seen in the news. The discovery is associated with region's early Buddhist presence in coastal Karnataka. This is also correct. The first statement is only incorrect. So the correct answer is option B. So with this, let us move on to the next news article discussion. Now look at this article. A sustainable method for extracting nickel was recently discovered by scientists at Max Planck Institute. So the scientists have recently published a study for sustainable extraction of nickel. Usually nickel was extracted from laterite ore, and this extraction process releases a large amount of carbon dioxide. Now the new method will emit 84% less carbon and also energy efficient method. So this new method is almost emits very less or negligible amount of carbon. So this is a green way of extracting nickel. So this new method was recently published in Science journal Nature, and this is why it was appeared in news. So in this context, we are going to see the basics of nickel metal and what are the nickel deposits found in India and where are they found, and about the uses of nickel. So these are the things we are going to discuss here. So the new study was published by Max Planck Institute for Sustainable Materials, and it is a carbon-free method to extract nickel. So this method uses hydrogen plasma. So this method reduces the emissions by 84% and is also 18% more energy efficient than conventional extraction method. So this is a news. Now let us see the nickel metal. It does not occur freely in nature. It is always associated with other metals like copper, uranium and other metals. So most important ore is a laterite ore, and nickel is found along with the laterite ore. Nickel is also found with the polymetallic sea nodules. So these are deep sea nodules which are extracted using deep sea mining. So nickel is also found with polymetallic sea nodules. So this is about the occurrence of nickel. The type of deposits in India. So nickeliferous limonite, this is the largest nickel deposit in India in Sukinda Valley in Odisha. The nickel is also found as sulfide form in East Singhbhum district in Jharkhand. Along with the uranium, it is also found in Jadugada in Jharkhand. The nickel is also found in negligible amount in Karnataka, Kerala and Rajasthan. More than 94% of nickel deposit in India is concentrated in Odisha in the Sukinda Valley. So other states only have 8% of nickel deposits. So the largest amount of nickel deposit in India is found in Odisha. So this is an important point, please note that. Now coming to the uses of nickel, nickel has a very high tensile strength. So these are the uses of nickel. Nickel along with the iron is used in making stainless steel. So nickel and iron alloy is the stainless steel. Nickel along with the copper is used in coinage. So rupee coins also has nickel. So nickel along with copper or silver is used in making coins. The nickel along with aluminum is used in aircraft parts, internal combustion engines, etc. So nickel has high tensile strength and durability, so it is used in these aircraft engine parts, etc. Metallic nickel is used as a catalyst in hydrogenation of oil, that is vanaspati, and also in making batteries. So nickel is also used as a catalyst in this process. So these are the important uses of nickel. Now look at this prelims practice question. Which of the following combinations of alloy and their uses is correctly matched? Nickel and aluminum is used in coinage. No, this is incorrect. Nickel and aluminum is used in making aeroplane parts. Nickel and copper is used in making coinage. So A and B are incorrect. Nickel and iron is used in making stainless steel. Yes, this statement is correct. So this part is correct. Option C is correct. Nickel as a catalyst is not used in fertilizer. It is used in making vanaspati oil, that is hydrogenation of oil, and making batteries. So option D is also incorrect. So the correct answer is option C. With this, let us move on to the next news article. Now look at this article. A new method for water harvesting is created in Rajasthan. It is an in situ water conservation method by creating plastic farm ponds in rural villages of Rajasthan for helping farmers during the drought season. So this is a rural water conservation model by creating 50 farm ponds in the farmers' land. So these farm ponds can hold water during the rainy season and it can be used during the drought season. So this farm pond model is based on scientific and climate resilient design, and nearly 50 plastic lined farm ponds have been constructed in the rural villages near Jaipur, and 25 more ponds are under construction. Each pond is 10 feet deep and it covers 5% of farmers' land. So each farmer's land 5% is used for creating this farm pond. So this is a method of in situ water conservation, and it has potential to store more than 10 crore liters of water. So the advantages of this farm pond is that it can enable irrigation for both rabi and kharif crops. It can promote livestock rearing throughout the year because the water is available in the farm pond throughout the year. The farm pond is also lined with plastic geomembrane, and this prevents a seepage of water, so it can hold more water for a longer time. So it can be used for livestock rearing, irrigation, horticulture, and the farmers need not to depend on groundwater extraction. So Rajasthan is a arid region, and the rainfall is also very low. So they mostly depend on groundwater extraction or other irrigation facilities. Now they can depend on their own farm ponds. So this is a in situ water conservation model, and the groundwater recharge potential is also high because of continuous surface irrigation. So the farmers can continuously irrigate their field throughout the year by using these farm ponds, and this can increase the groundwater recharge potential. So these are important significance of this farm pond model. So look at these terms: Johats, Tanka, Bavori, Kadin. So these are the water harvesting systems which are used in Rajasthan. So these are the traditional water harvesting system. So these terms are related to the water harvesting system in Rajasthan. Please take a note of it. And this farm pond model is very essential for Rajasthan because it is the most water stressed state in India. It receives a rainfall below 500 millimeter annually. So this farm pond model is a game changer in Rajasthan's irrigation, and it is set to cover more rural villages in future. So this is all about the discussion regarding this topic. Now look at this prelims practice question. Consider the following statements regarding the innovative farm pond model implemented in Rajasthan. The farm ponds are traditional unlined structures constructed through manual excavation. So this is incorrect. They are lined with a plastic geomembrane to prevent the seepage of water into the surrounding areas. The initiative helps reduce dependence on deep groundwater extraction and promotes diversification into high-value crops, as the statement is correct. The model aligns with both PM KSY and Atal Bhujal Yojana objectives. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Yes, this third statement is also correct. It requires each farmer to allocate 25% of their cultivable land for pond construction. This statement is incorrect because it requires only 5% of farmers' land for this construction. So the first and fourth statement are incorrect. The second and third statement are correct. So the correct answer is option A, 2 and 3 only. So with this, let us conclude the discussion and move on to the next news article. Now look at this article. India is rapidly becoming one of the most climate vulnerable nations. So this is due to the rising temperatures and shifting monsoon patterns. A recent study warns that by the year 2030, Indian cities such as Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai, Hyderabad will experience twofold increase in heat waves. Already there is a rapid increase in heat waves in recent years. In 2030, there will be the twofold increase in heat waves. So this is said in a recent study, and the study also highlights that the climate change will drive 43% increase in the intensity of extreme rainfall. So India is one of the most affected countries by the climate change. So this extreme rainfall and extreme heat wave conditions will rapidly increase in the year 2030. This is as per the recent study. And let us discuss about the key findings of this study and about the climate vulnerability of India. See, 8 major cities in India: Mumbai, Thane, Chennai, Delhi, Surat, Hyderabad, Patna and Bhubaneswar. So these 8 major cities will witness a twofold increase in heat wave by 2030. Also, 72% of Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities will face frequent heat wave stress. They also experience extreme rainfall and storm surges. India has already seen a 15-fold rise in extreme heat waves between 1993 and 2024. In last decade alone, there has been a 19-fold increase in the heat waves. Monsoon seasons are increasingly resembling extended summers. So this has raised serious concerns about India's climate vulnerability. Now what is driving this climate change? See, the land use pattern changes, the deforestation, wetland and mangrove encroachments, urban encroachment on the wetlands, are exacerbating this microclimatic condition. Meteorological patterns like El Nino and La Nino are also intensifying, and they are leading to more erratic cyclones, floods, and storm surges. The rising global temperatures due to anthropogenic emissions, disruption of historical weather patterns and monsoon behavior, rapid urbanization and concretization of urban areas. So they reduce the green cover and they trap the heat in the cities. So this will lead to more heat waves in the important cities. Unsustainable land use practices. For example, the deforestation, loss of wetlands, and encroachment on mangrove cover. This has led to a disruption of natural cooling mechanism and water absorption methods. So these unsustainable land use practices have also intensified this climate change process. Now these have impacts on public health, agriculture, food security, infrastructure and economy, and they also impact the migration and create inequality. So this climate change will negatively impact the poor and they create a vast inequality in society. So the rural areas will face more distress and urban saturation may worsen. So these are the important impacts of this climate change. Now what can be the way forward? We should establish a climate risk observatory and a health risk champion should be appointed. Within district disaster management authorities, health risk champions can coordinate the local action. So this will be useful to track the heat waves and coordinate the actions against heat waves. Next, about technological integration, we have to integrate the climate data into infrastructure planning. The warning systems and response framework should be integrated for planning against the climate change. We should develop risk financing tools. Climate insurance schemes, heat wave contingency funds, and green municipal bonds should be used against this climate change. There should be also restoring of wetlands, mangroves, and adopting nature-based solutions. We should promote urban forest, create more reflective surfaces in urban areas, and rooftop gardens. So this can improve the microclimate of the region. So these are some of the points we can put under the way forward. So this is a main question regarding this topic. With this, let us conclude the discussion. Now look at this article. This is about Russia-Ukraine war. Now it's the fourth year of this war, which started in 2022. This has led to massive humanitarian, economic and geopolitical concerns. In 2025, diplomacy has re-emerged as a possible solution for this war. This is particularly through the Istanbul peace talks. The war has reshaped the global alliances. It has also revived the proxy war dynamics. And this war also heightened the risk of nuclear confrontation. So let us discuss about the end game of this Russia-Ukraine war. The end game is really happening with the Istanbul peace process. This peace process restarted with rounds on May 16 and it also happened on June 1 this month. This Istanbul peace process was facilitated by Donald Trump administration. So far the prisoners were swapped, draft ceasefire terms were created, and there was a limited consensus on terms of the war. The peace process also proposed a ceasefire with a territorial concession, and this peace process also assured non-NATO status for Ukraine. So they assured no NATO status for Ukraine. So Ukraine and Russia are actively involving in this Istanbul peace process. So this might be the end game of this Ukraine-Russia war. Recently, Ukraine has done drone strikes deep inside Russia's air bases. So this was termed as Operation Spiderweb, and this drone have also struck the Putin's convoy in Kursk. It has also destroyed strategic bridges, and the drone strikes also happened near Moscow city. So this Operation Spiderweb is one of the important part of this Ukraine-Russia war. So this raised the specter of nuclear retaliation from Russian side. If Russia's sovereignty is perceived as threatened, then Russia might use its nuclear attack. So this Operation Spiderweb has raised the possibility of nuclear retaliation from Russia. So Russia might expand this special military operation into a full-scale war. So till now, Russia is using this conflict as a special military operation. But it might expand this special military operation into a full-scale war after this Operation Spiderweb. Because this Operation Spiderweb has caused serious damages both in terms of economic losses and also the strategic losses for Russian military. Russia is considering to create buffer zones near Ukraine borders. If you look at Russia's nuclear policy, their nuclear deterrence doctrine allows them to use firstly if the state survival is at risk. So if Russia is under risk or its sovereignty is threatened, then Russia can use the nuclear weapon at first. So they have the first use policy. Trump recently proposed that he will renew the denuclearization talks. So there will be new START treaty after this treaty expires in 2026. So Trump has decided to renew this denuclearization talks with Russia and China. Now what will be the way forward for this Russia-Ukraine war? There should be inclusive dialogue. All major parties, that is Ukraine, Russia, NATO, European Union, must be the part of talks. So they should address the core security concerns between the two countries. Because this war has been a proxy war on NATO and European Union on one side and Russia on other side. So this is not just a war between Ukraine and Russia, it is more of a proxy war. And Russia has been treating this war as a special military operation and not as a full-scale war. So many actions of Ukraine has forced Russia to take the nuclear retaliation, but it has not happened yet. So they have to implement the ceasefires, the prisoner swaps and third-party monitoring to build confidence between the two countries. The Istanbul peace talks have been gradually creating consensus between the two countries, and the Trump administration is mediating the peace talks. Countries like India can also mediate neutrally and they can push for peace through diplomacy. So diplomacy has been seen as a solution by both countries in 2025. Ukraine's sovereignty must be upheld and Russia's security fears should be addressed. So this Operation Spiderweb has created fear about Russia's security. So this should be addressed, and Russia should also respect the sovereignty of Ukraine. So the nuclear risk should also be addressed. USA, Russia and China should restart the denuclearization talks. So this will reduce the chances of nuclear escalation. So this is all about this article discussion. And this is a mains question regarding this article. Interested aspirants can try to write the answer for this. With this, let us move on to the next news article. With this, we have come to the end of the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.